Hey everybody, this is Ruvain Spolter from the Mishnah Project. We're ending Masechet Keilim. It's a long Masechet. We're almost at the end of Masechet Keilim, and we're right up in Chanukah. And I want to sort of share with you some thoughts about the end of the secular year, and about Chanukah, and about how Masechet Keilim has sort of shaped my thoughts about Chanukah and the end of the year for this year. So first of all, one of the thoughts from Chanukah. So this is the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat, Daf Chaf Aleph Amud Bet. The Gemara asks a very famous question: My Chanukah? What is Chanukah? And we know that the Gemara says, okay, that on the 25th of Kislev, okay, they had 8 days. Why did they have 8 days? Why? They were metameh. So this is the word that's new meaning to me. It became the new shemen came they defiled all the shemen in the Heichal. And when the Chashmonaim overcame the Syrian Greeks and beat them, Badku, okay, and they checked, so they only found one cruse of oil. They only found one cruse of oil. I have a nice little picture of you. One cruse of oil. It wasn't that. It was that. Now we know. First of all, from our learning, we know what a cruse of oil was. We also know, okay, that it was kli cheres that was sealed, and we learned that once a kli cheres is sealed, it's not mekabel tumah from the outside, only from the insignificant in and of itself. So my friend Johnny Solomon, good friend of mine, great educator, he also wrote a Facebook post yesterday. You should follow him. He writes about the Daf Yomi, and he wrote based on the Daf Yomi. He said, listen, you could argue and suggest that maybe that you could figure out a halachic way that the cruse of oil would have been could have been tahor, or maybe it's only tamei midirabanan. How do you know that the Syrians made it tamei or all? And so he quotes an answer. He suggests a very interesting answer. He says he thinks that there's a difference between tumah, like technical tumah, and tumah from avodah zarah, from idolatry. And he feels that this was too much from avodah zarah, and the Beit HaMikdash was unacceptable. But I think from our learning of the Mishnah, we've seen just how fundamental tumah and tahara were in their lives, how primary it was in their lives, and the idea that they could somehow finagle away in case of duress to rededicate the Beit HaMikdash based on like some kind of loophole and use it in the Beit HaMikdash, use something that was tameh. I think that for me now, after learning Masechet Keilim, it was unimaginable. They just never would have done that. I want to share with you a final thought that I get from the learning that I mentioned a while ago. I don't know if any of you have seen. This is a tweet from Time magazine. Time has dubbed 2020 the worst year ever. And probably, okay, is it really the worst year ever? I think a friend of mine also, he wrote about this. I think that 2020 is not a fun year. Nobody's going to suggest that it is. But to call it the worst year ever, it's slang and it's kind of pithy. But it also doesn't give us a sense of, the comfort. Here I am, and the comfort of my backyard. We're living through a pandemic. You know what the Black Plague was, or the Spanish flu, or anything like that. When we learn Masechet Keilim, and we learn about how even like the begadim that we learned about, and like the tiny begadim were mekabel tumah, and they wouldn't throw anything away, and the sense of poverty that they had, and the value that they had for every single thing, and the quality of life that we have versus what we had before, it just gives you a new appreciation as you celebrate Chanukah. We'll go back to our Chanukah picture, and you celebrate our lives and what we have today. As we're almost at the end, next week we're going to finish Masechet Keilim, and if you're just seeing this video for the first time, you don't know what, join the Mishnah Yomi program. Really encourage you to join. Start now, Masechet Ahalot. There's a new Masechta. It's a great time to join. As we finish Masechet Keilim, I think that the learning every day, first of all, gives me an appreciation for the way that things were. Even though it's theoretical learning, we don't have Tumah and Tara. It gives us a new appreciation for Chanukah. And even more than that, it also gives us a new appreciation for the blessings that all of us have. If you have other thoughts, I would love if you're in the WhatsApp group or email with me. If you have thoughts about Masechet Keilim that you'd love to share with other people, I want to put together just a small file that I'd love to share, just thoughts on Masechet Keilim from people that are participating in the Mishnah Yomi program. I wish you all continued excellent learning and a Chanukah Sameach.